Hey guys, so if you're looking for a fancy intro to watch this video, then this video is not for you. But if you're actually excited about substance in content, and actually get into the meat of some stuff, then keep watching because we got a banger that we're about to discuss. So, sorry, I just have my tea here. Let me just outline what I want to talk about, and my spirit sometimes will lead me somewhere slightly different. So forgive me if I do. But I want to talk about just a few things. I want to talk about skill acquisition, and there's a gentleman by the name of Josh Kaufman. Josh Kaufman, if you haven't heard about him, you should go look him up. That's JoshKaufman, and he wrote a book called The First 20 Hours: How to Learn Anything. So that's number one. Then I want to talk about the Lord rejoicing in seeing the work begin, and then lastly, I want to talk about intelligence versus faith, and whatever we'll leave some room for spontaneity for sure. All right, so skill acquisition. What does that even mean? Like, it's a fancy word. I think skill is a simple enough word, but the word acquisition can sometimes be intimidating. Acquisitions, it just means to acquire, to get, right? To get. So when we're talking about skill acquisition, it's about getting new skills, right? And whichever field you're in, you're gonna need some new skills. If you want to be a custodian, janitor, you're gonna need some skills. You want to be a coder, developer, real estate agent, insurance broker, teacher, doctor, lawyer. You're gonna need some new skills. Basketball player, soccer player, football player, whatever it may be. You're gonna need to develop some skills to be competent at that thing. Now, there's something very, very interesting that Josh Kaufman wrote about, and also spoke about in his TED Talk. And I'll link the video. I'll link the his TED Talk in the description, because I think a lot of people can benefit from it. And I'm just pulling things from there. That is the source that I want to just cite. But he talked about how long it takes to actually get a new skill, acquire a new skill, and also talked about the challenges that people find when it comes to getting new skills. And he wasn't just talking about like instruments or dancing. He said literally any skill in the world. And I think that's so exciting, because it means that, hey, like, everyone can be good at everything, right? Now, don't shoot me, don't kill me. Like, obviously, like, there's some exceptions. Okay, there's some exceptions if you have a physical limit. Actually, I don't even know, because I see people with physical limitations who don't have legs, and like, they find a way to be Olympic athletes. So I don't know if I can say that, but anyways, let's get to the meat of it. He talked about it doesn't take 10,000 hours 10,000 hours to become good at something, right? So often 10,000 hours is the timeline, the benchmark that is often cited for mastery. And that was a concept that was popularized by Malcolm Gladwell. And it just says that gaining a functional understanding of a new skill actually only requires about 20 hours of focus practice. So when we're talking about this, we're talking about deliberate practice, breaking down the skill into sub skills, and then learning just enough to practice effectively, and removing the barriers to practice to make those 20 hours highly productive. So Kaufman talked really, really a lot about for people, starting the first hour of learning is a common hurdle, the initial resistance, and many, many, many people struggle with the fear of failure, or the discomfort of being a beginner, which often delays the start. But if we break down what 20 hours even means, that's only about 45 minutes a day. 45 minutes a day for a month. Did you ever want to be good at the piano? Did you ever want to be good at coding, building websites, sales, marketing, right? Launching your business, whatever, speaking a language? It just takes 45 minutes a day At the end of the month, you'll become reasonably competent at whatever that skill is. Like, I don't know about you, but if that's not refreshing, I don't know what is. I don't know what is, right? Now, the problem is, and we talked about it, it takes forever, sometimes years, sometimes decades, and sometimes people even go to the grave without starting that first hour. And I have a few reasons why it takes that long for people. And that's going to tie into the end of this video where we talk about intelligence versus faith. Intelligence versus faith. But before we do, I want to get into a scripture that talks about the first hour. Okay, and this is Zechariah 4:10. I love this this scripture, Zechariah 4:10. Let me just pull it up because I don't want to, like, I know it, but I want to just read it. You know, the Lord rejoices. The Lord rejoices. So Zechariah 4, chapter 4, verse 10, it says, Who dares despise the day of small beginnings? Since the 7 eyes of the Lord that range throughout the earth will rejoice when they see the chosen capstone in the hand of Zerubbabel. Okay, I always butcher that name. Forgive me, my Bible people, forgive me, Zerubbabel. I want to go to a different version. I want to go to that was the NIV version. I want to go to a different version. You feel me? Let's just get popping. Hold on. For the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. For the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. Right? Begin. So let's talk about it. The Lord rejoices to see the work begin. Love it. Okay, this version speaks to me a little bit more. This is the NLT version. My apologies, guys, but like I said, over here we're about substance, but we're also gonna keep it raw. You understand? Like, we're learning, we're growing together. So Zechariah 4:10, it says in the NLT, it says, "Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin." Begin. Do you think God maybe knew something about the importance of starting? Right? The creator, master of the universe. You think maybe God already knew the importance of starting something? Rejoice. What does it mean to rejoice? It means to get amped, excited. Oof, I get amped. Like, God is getting amped in heaven. Ooh, my son, my daughter, you have begun. Now, that ties back into some of what Josh Kaufman was saying as well, that a lot of people take forever to even start the first hour, and that can be delaying maybe something that will turn something magnificent. Maybe you learning this skill is going to end up being a blessing for someone else. It's going to spark a mind, that's going to spark a mind, that's going to spark a mind, that's going to change the world. And it's not the last person that changed the world, but the collective sparks that led to the flame. And yes, you might not be the spark that gets the credit for the fire, but you were just as important. Everyone has a part to play. So a lot of the things that, like, fear, intimidation, or this is the one that, like, we all struggle with it. I struggle with it as well. This is why I said I'm not editing my videos no more. It's a roadblock for now. Understand? I want to begin. I want to become competent. This elusive mastery or perfection that we are seeking before we begin. Have you ever wanted to do something, you said, well, if I just have this, then I'll start. And guess what? You never get this. So you never start. And it's just a constant cycle of stagnation, not starting, But having that desire, that deposit, that blueprint that's been downloaded from the heavens, just start. And I know it sucks to start something new because in the beginning you feel stupid. Like, it's scary to feel stupid. And this is going to bring me to our closing point when we're talking about intelligence versus faith. This human brain that we have, one, I heard that I heard something very interesting recently, that every second it is assessing 7 times. 7 thoughts happen every second to assess whether we're safe or not. Y'all can't even process that. But what I'm trying to say is that the capacity of our brain is such a high functioning organism, such a high functioning computer, so complex and beautiful and intricate. And as human beings, like we just don't begin. We just don't begin sometimes. You think a beaver who has to make a dam is waiting to be like, it's not overthinking it. It's not overthinking it. Like it has a primal function to do something, and it begins. It builds the dam. Right? I got a little horn in the background. It's all good. Now, Aish, can I? Okay. Sorry about that. Not sure you guys even hear that, but that's how a little horn and outside. No. People just don't want to begin. We don't want to begin. We think we got to be masters, and there's never a perfect time to start. So you might as well start when it's imperfect, because you're going to get better. And I know it's scary because your brain is telling you that, well, your brain has no evidence that you would succeed in this thing that you're about to start. Why? Because it's brand new. Does that make sense? Because the thing is brand new, your brain has no evidence that it is going to succeed in the thing that you're about to take on. So it goes into a fear state, uncomfortable fear. Your amygdala is probably heightened because it has no evidence. But what about the things that you already showcased that you're good at? What if you already know that you're good at playing the piano and you gotta go take a piano class? Are you tripping? You're not tripping because you know you're good at it. What if you know you're really good at hoops? You know you're a good hooper and you gotta go play basketball. Are you tripping? No, because you know that you're good at it. So there's no fear. Your brain has evidence to support you continuing to move forward in this thing. But the beautiful thing about the start is that when you come to the start of something, there's sometimes no point of reference. No point of reference. So when there's no point of reference for something that you're about to embark on, what's going to give you the confidence to move forward? It's not going to be your intelligence. It's going to be your faith. It's going to be your faith that if you start, the other steps will begin to unfold. That if you start, the other steps will begin to unfold. So it's going to be your faith that gets you to start. So the faithful person will oftentimes outperform the intelligent person. I drank my drink at that moment because that was a bar. Okay, that was a bar. How much times do you see someone doing something that you know no dissing to them, but you are maybe far more cognitively competent than they are, but they are outperforming you front, left, right, and center. It's not because they're smarter than you. It's not because they're better than you or anything like that. But they had the faith to start with no point of reference. With no point of reference. Right? You don't always need a reference for things to come into fruition. And I really want to drive that point home. This universe was created with no point of reference, no matter how you slice it. With no point of reference, this universe was created. Whether you're a believer or not. Whether you are a believer or not, this universe was created with no point of reference. You believe in God or you believe in Big Bang. It don't matter. This universe was created with no point of reference. What does that tell you? Glorious things can be created with no point of reference. So I want to implore us to remember that, one, it only takes 20 hours to become competent and likely live the life that you always wanted to live, or at least have the fulfillment of acquiring new skills that maybe you always want to acquire. Maybe it's cooking, maybe it's dancing, maybe it's learning a new language, maybe it's a sport, maybe it's becoming more technically savvy with technology, whatever it may be. At any age, there's no excuse. There's no excuse, man. There's no excuse no more. I'm giving y'all no excuses no more, because I believe in you guys, right? So this is a real revelation I received. 2, the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. So just like Josh Kaufman said, it's the initial fear and hesitation to start the first hour that never gets us to get to the 20th hour. Not 10,000 hours, just 20. 20. And 3, I'll leave you with this. If you continue to intellectualize, if that's a word, if it's not, please forgive me. If you continue to over-intellectualize things, you're not going to leave any room for faith. For faith. What is faith? Faith is moving despite lack of evidence. That's faith. And when you take that step and you self-correct and you improve and you get to your 20 hours, guess what? Now you can look back at your 20 hours and be like, wow. And that should give you enough confidence to slay the next track. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, I want to keep it a little bit short. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, subscribe. Just like you, I'm on a journey of overcoming fear. Just like you, I'm on a journey of, struggling to start things that I believe that I can be good at. Just like you, I'm working on my 20 hours. And this YouTube channel is about real revelations. I'm a baby Christian. You already know that. But I want to bring real revelations from a biblical perspective and just give you guys the confidence to, just to live the lives that you want to live, as fulfilled as you want to be. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, get some comments in the comment section. Let me know, give me some feedback, guys, because I got to correct. I appreciate you guys. I'm out.